This is John Kranz with Consum World. You're watching No Enemies Here, the latest wargaming news. Enjoy.
Compass Games has just released Bitter Woods Designer Edition. This is a reprint. This is a game designed by Randy Heller, developed by Bruno Sinigalio. The artists are Mark Mahaffey and Mark Simonich. The complexity of this game is 5 out of 10. Solitaire suitability is 8. The time scale is 1 turn equals 12 hours. The map scale, 1 hex, is approximately 2 miles. Unit scale, primarily regiments and brigades. It's a 2-player game. Playing time for small scenarios is 3 to 4 hours. Full campaign is 8+ hours. What we get in this game is 2 22 by 30 inch maps, 3 sheets of 5/8 inch counters, a rule book, a player handbook, 6 player aid cards, 1 6-sided die, and a box and a lid. High Flying Dice Games has 3 new releases. The first release is, but not in vain, The Siege of Calais. This is a game designed by Paul Rohrbaugh. Price of Honor, The Battle of Callao, May 2nd, 1866. Another game by Paul Rohrbaugh. And the third game, A Rock and a Hard Place. This is a game of a hypothetical simulation of a German airborne invasion of Malta and Fort Benghazi, a linchpin of the British defense. Designed by Paul Rohrbaugh. The Australian design group has World in Flames Collector's Edition Classic Game. World in Flames is a grand strategic game covering all of World War II. And what comes with this game is 4 large 574 by 820 millimeter full color hard mounted map covering most of the world: West Europe, Africa, East Europe, and the Middle East, Asia, and the Pacific. 1 297 by 420 millimeter full color hard mounted map of the Americas, and 1 297 by 420 millimeter full color hard mounted turn record chart. You also get 1,600 counters representing the armies, navies, and air forces of World War II. Legion War Games, Zeppelins, Monsters of the Purple Twilight. This is a 2-player and solitaire game designed by Alan Sherwood. So this game is 2 22 by 34 inch maps, 880 counters, 0.6 of an inch each, a 45-page rulebook, 24-page scenario book, a deck of 50 event cards, player aids, and 20 scenarios. The map scale is 5 miles per hex, the unit size 1 Zeppelin, and time scale ½ hour per turn. Players 1 to 2, complexity medium high, and solitaire suitability very high. If you've noticed, I love to say that. Zeppelins. In GMT's Not There Yet section, we have a game by Harold Buchanan called Flashpoint, South China Seas. Reading from GMT's webpage and in my most dramatic voice, Flashpoint, South China Sea is a 2-player strategy game that simulates the complex geopolitical contest currently taking place between the United States of America and China in a disputed region of the South China Seas. What we get with this game is 1 22 by 17 inch mounted map board, 40 plus wooden influence cubes and markers, 60 plus cards, 2 6-sided dice, a rulebook, and designer notes. Complexity is medium-low, and solitaire suitability is high. Compass Games, Crusade and Revolution. The Spanish Civil War, 1936-1939. This is the deluxe edition. This reprint comes with one 22 by 34 inch mounted map board, 110 strategy cards, 176 5/8 inch die-cut counters, 280 half-inch die-cut counters, one color rulebook, one color playbook, 4 player 8 cards, one 6-sided die. This is a card-driven game, which the complexity is 6 out of 10, solitaire suitability is 4, the time scale, 1 turn equals 2 months, 1 month during the first 4 turns of the game, map scale, 1 space equals approximately 60 kilometers, that's 37 miles, unit scale, the small units from irregular columns to divisions, the large units from reinforced divisions to Army Corps. It's a 2-player game, playing time, small scenarios, 3 to 4 hours, full campaign, 8+ hours. The designer is David Gomez Reloso, developer is Kevin Bernatz, and the artist is Nicholas Escubi Uglade. GMT, Empire of the Sun, 3rd printing. This is Mark Herman's Pacific War game, 1941 to 1945. The game comes with 280 9/16 counters and 88 5/8 inch counters, 2 decks of strategy cards, 82 Japanese and 83 allies, one 22 by 34 inch mounted map board, 2 player 8 cards, rules, 1 10-sided die. Complexity, high, solitaire suitability, low to medium. Tim Korchnoi of Bare Bones Wargaming is doing a Fires of Midway, a Clash of Arms games, Carrier Battles of 1942, designed by Steve Cunliffe. Tim also does the opening turn of a game called Mrs. Thatcher's War, The Falklands 1982, a game done by White Dog Games, and designed by Ben Madison. World at War magazine number 54, magazine game Battle of Midway. Bare Bones also has a video that shows a turn from the game Strange Victory, a game designed by Steve Cunliffe, one of the 4 games found in the Against the Odds annual Roads to Paris covering the Case Yellow campaign of 1940. From France and in French, Les Nouvelles du Front are doing Compass Games, A Pragmatic War, the War of the Austrian Secession. This is a game that uses the No Peace Without Spain system. Designed by John B. Firer and developed by Sam Harper. Complexity is 4 out of 10, solitaire suitability is 5 out of 10, the time scale is 1 year per turn, the map scale is point-to-point strategic level, unit scale core of 10,000 mixed arms and fleets, plays 1 to 2, playing time 4 to 6 hours. John Krantz of Compass Games talks about new releases and soon-to-be-released games from Compass Games. Soundboard has 2 videos out, Fields of Fire, How to Play, Beginner Strategies, and also No Retreat, Russian Front Gameplay, turns 1 and 3, a game by Karl Paradzi, published by GMT. Marco Wargamer is reviewing Compass Games, Commands and Colors, American Revolution, a design by Richard Borg. Robert Warren of Rob's Tabletop World is checking out, in his War and Pieces segment, Armageddon War, a game designed by Mark Walker. The artist is Mark Walker. Published by Flying Pig Games, owned by Mark Walker. Armageddon War is a platoon-level game set in the near future. What's included in this game is 2 mounted 22 by 33 inch full-color game board, 4 sheets of, as Mark Walker says, gorgeous die-cut 1-inch counters, including Israeli Merkavas, American Abrams, Russians T-90s, RPG 29s, and much more. You get full-color rule and scenario book, including 16 scenarios, a player 8 card, and 18 colored dice. The design of Armageddon War is by Greg Porter. Stuka Joe is showcasing Old School Tactical 2 Part 2. This is a tactical game played in the West Front in 1944 and 1945. It's published by Flying Pig Games. The designer is Shane Logan, as is the artist. Also, a new preview video spot. This is the first of his preview videos that he will be doing. Consists of Stuka Joe going through all the components, checking out the maps, the layout of the game, the rules, the playbook, and much more in a 15 to 20 minute segment. And this is going to be on Stalingrad, Verdun on the Volga, published by Last Hand Games, designed by Michael Ranella, and the artist is Mark Mahaffey. But go watch Stuka Joe's video, he'll tell you more in detail. Gimpy of the Gimpy Gamer is showcasing a Hornet Leader setup, a game by Dan Verson of DVG Games. Gimpy also has a video of Gimpy's game giveaway, the April winner. Check that out, it might be you. Gimpy's got another video called The Hornet Leader Part 1, now with the Cthulhu. Well, this is the Hornet Leader Cthulhu Conflict expansion. Yep, you heard me right. And you know what? You know, I had this idea of doing an interlude with Hornet Leader and then, you know, morphing into the Cthulhu conflict. You know, that would have been all cool. And what I get is this guy does it before me. Like, what the hell? You know, it's like Newton when he invented calculus, you know, and another guy somewhere in Germany did the same thing at the same time. Who knew? Mauro Faina is giving you his analysis of the components of Ardennes 1944-1945, a game published by Taktyk i Strategia, a Polish company, designed by Wojciech Zaleski. The analysis is in the Italian language. Kevin of the Big Board Gaming is checking out a BAOR module of Jim Day's MBT expansion game. He's doing a shooting practice, and he's pitting a chieftain against a T-62, firing at each other and seeing what happens. He's also giving his thoughts on Marco Cimino's and Fabrizio Vianello's game by Thin Red Line, Under an Iron Sky. Is that it? The guys at the Player's Aid have two videos, an unboxing of Wild Blue Yonder from GMT, and a review of the same game, which is Wild Blue Yonder. Agusti Barrio Ruiz has a Bounding Fire production, Poland in Flames. This is a ASL module. Gilbert Collins takes a look at Paul Koenig's Bloody Civil War series. He takes a look at 3 games, Chickamauga, Shiloh, and Chancellorsville. USA Patriot 4163 is doing a video on Avalon Hill's Fury in the West Part 2. This is an old Avalon Hill game from 1981. Counterproductive Games is taking a look at Richard III, The War of the Roses, a game done in 2009 by Columbia Games and Jerry Taylor. Paul Comben. Who is Paul Comben? Well, he's an author of A Dicey Business. And this book is about his humorous homage to 5 decades in the board wargaming hobby. Begins in 1972 with Paul's first discovery of Avalon Hill wargames. Also, Paul is a regular contributor to War Diary magazine, as well as sites such as The Board Gaming Life and The Board Gaming Way. Paul is a voice actor, and he gave me a little clip on his humorous look at his wargaming life the last 50 years.
Now here's a nice game for you, sir. Off the presses, you might say. A grand subject it is, most expertly covered, if I might make so bold as to express an opinion. And the errata is, how can I put it? Incomplete? Inconsistent? In the wrong box altogether, I cynically responded. You has it precisely, sir. May I inquire if the gentleman will be buying said article, or is there some other half-complete game with badly cut counters you may care to grace with your perusal first?
You can get A Dicey Business on Amazon Kindle and all Kindle apps. Harold on Games has podcast number 2 with designer Cole Worley, who designed games such as An Infamous Traffic, published by Hollenspiel, and podcast number 3 with Bruce Mansfield, who designed Gandhi, The Decolonization of British India, 1917-1947, published by GMT, and Mike Bertuccelli, who has a P500 game, Tank Duel, Enemy in the Crosshairs, by GMT. I've Been Diced, episode 76, Series Games. This episode, they talk about series war games and other board games. Rally in the Valley 16 is their cool way to say sparkling wine. They talk about games such as The Lamps Are Going Out by Compass Games, Desert Heat Lock and Load, and Enemy Coast Ahead, The Doolittle Raid by GMT. They also have the ASL Rule of the Week. War Games to Go 15.3, The Conclusion of the Korean War, a game designed by Joe Balkowski and published by Victory Games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Arrivederci.